Imagine your own brothers selling you for a handful of silver coins. How would you feel? Would you seek revenge or choose forgiveness? Today, you'll witness the incredible true story of Joseph, a young man rejected by his own family, sold into slavery, and thrown into prison. Yet God had a far greater plan for his life. Stay until the end, because this story will change the way you see faith, suffering, and God's purpose. Long ago, in the land of Canaan, there lived a man named Jacob. He had 12 sons, but one of them held a special place in his heart, Joseph. As a sign of his deep love, Jacob gave Joseph a beautiful robe of many colors. What seemed like a simple gift would soon ignite jealousy in the hearts of Joseph's brothers, setting in motion one of the most powerful stories in the Bible. One morning, Joseph woke up with an extraordinary dream. He saw himself and his brothers binding sheaves of grain in a field. Suddenly, Joseph's sheaf stood upright, while the sheaves of his brothers bowed down before it. Excited by what he had seen, Joseph shared the dream with his family, but instead of celebrating, his brothers became furious. To them, it sounded as if Joseph believed he would one day rule over them. Soon after, Joseph had another dream. This time, the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed down before him. When he told his father and brothers, even Jacob was surprised. Although he quietly wondered whether the dream came from God, Joseph's brothers grew even more jealous. From that day forward, envy filled their hearts. Jealousy is a dangerous seed. If left unchecked, it grows into hatred. Joseph's brothers could no longer bear their father's love for him or the dreams he shared. Every time they looked at Joseph's colorful robe, their anger burned even stronger. They didn't realize that God was preparing Joseph for something far greater than any of them could imagine. One day, Jacob asked Joseph to check on his brothers, who were tending the family's flocks far from home. Without hesitation, Joseph obeyed. He had no idea that this simple journey would completely change his life forever. Every step brought him closer to the moment God would begin fulfilling his greater purpose. As Joseph approached, his brothers recognized him from a distance. Instead of welcoming him, they began plotting against him. "Here comes the dreamer," they sneered. Their jealousy had grown into hatred, and hatred was about to become a terrible crime. They believed that if Joseph disappeared, his dreams would disappear with him. But no one can stop a plan that God has already set in motion. Without warning, the brothers seized Joseph. They ripped the colorful robe from his shoulders, the symbol of his father's love, and threw him into a deep, empty pit. Alone in the darkness, Joseph cried out for mercy, but his brothers turned away. Sometimes, the deepest pain comes not from strangers, but from those closest to us. Soon, an Ishmaelite caravan appeared on the road to Egypt. Judah suggested selling Joseph instead of killing him. For 20 pieces of silver, Joseph was handed over like a slave. As the caravan disappeared into the desert, Joseph looked back one last time. He had lost his home, his family, and his freedom, but he had not lost God's presence. The brothers dipped Joseph's robe in goat's blood and brought it to their father. Believing that a wild animal had killed his beloved son, Jacob was overwhelmed with grief. He wept bitterly, refusing to be comforted. While Jacob mourned, Joseph was being carried farther and farther into Egypt. Though it seemed that everything was lost, God was quietly preparing the next chapter of an extraordinary destiny.